Oh hey, you caught me trying to vibe code a Notion clone with Fable 5 before my usage runs out tomorrow. Yes, the model's so powerful it literally got banned by the White House. It's finally back. On the 12th of July, if you want Fable 5 level intelligence, you have to pay heavily for extra usage. Or will you? Because there is a new kid on the block. No, I'm not talking about GPT 5.6 Sol, which is also out today, and we'll talk about that later, but a model from China, GLM 5.2. Today, we're putting them head to head. Is GLM 5.2 really as good as Fable and GPT 5.6? Should you make the switch? And more importantly, what happens to the world if open source finally passes the event horizon and permanently outperforms closed source models? Now stay tuned until the very end, because we're going to put GLM 5.2 and Fable 5 head to head and get them to vibe coders a GTA style video game set in Luxembourg around our head office. Enter GLM 5.2 from Z.ai. It's backed by Alibaba, Tencent and all the other big players in China, and once again it completely rewrites the economics of agentic AI. Like we've come to expect from Chinese players, it is devastatingly efficient. It's a 744 to 753 billion parameter model, but it uses a mixture of experts architecture with only 40 billion active parameters per token. And much like DeepSeek's sparse attention mechanisms, this makes it incredibly cheap. So let me show you the math on why this matters for long horizon agentic workflows, which we're going to be talking about in detail today. Now, if you run a complex autonomous coding task overnight that burns 5 million input tokens, say, and 2 million output tokens, well, GLM 5.2 is going to cost you about $15.80. Not bad. And doing that same task on Anthropic, well, how much is that going to cost you? About $150. And GLM 5.2 isn't necessarily sacrificing quality. It actually beats OpenAI's GPT 5.5 on SWE Bench Pro, and it crushes the long horizon post-train bench. Plus, it also features adjustable reasoning, so you can dial its thinking effort up or down. Now, all of these new generation of models have something that the older models don't. Stamina. But when we're thinking about Fable 5 and GLM 5.2, we just set the overarching goal, and if you can implement bypass permissions mode or auto mode in the cloud on Claude, it can literally just run this overnight, even when your laptop is closed. Okay, let's have a look at what we get back then from Fable and our GTA style Luxembourg game. Let's start by looking at the prompts that I gave Fable 5. So we'll start with what Fable 5 happened to do for us. So I asked it, what I said is I want a playable web-based version of GTA set in Luxembourg. Oh, and I want the player to be able to walk directly into the G-Core European head offices. And I actually gave us a screenshot of our head office in Luxembourg. And I said, make it a fully playable game and create a main character, CJ, who can roam around. But remember, we're in Europe, and of course we're a respectable company, so no guns or violence, please. So let's see what it came up with. Now, of course, it made the game. Here we have Grand Duchy Auto. Now, isn't this funny? Instead of it being Grand Theft Auto, we've got Grand Duchy Auto. So if you didn't know, Luxembourg is actually the last remaining Grand Duchy in the world. That's a very small sovereign state ruled over by a Grand Duke. So we'll start the engine. So here we go. We are on foot, and this is where offices are located. So if we press E, then we can jump in the car and drive it straight up. And here we go. Here's the G-Core head offices. So we will park up. And notice the graphics are not GTA style. They're still very basic. This is more like, I'd say, Super Mario Nintendo 64 style. So we get out. Gotta walk around that. Should we chat with this guy? Just answering my emails before my meeting. So here we are. We're inside G-Core. Here's the receptionist. And would you look at that? Here's a data center, and let's go in here and chat with an engineer. And bearing in mind, it didn't have that much context to go to. I just told it G-Core, so it's obviously gone out and researched the web to find out all of this information. 180 points of presence, of course, worldwide. Mostly from here, it's all blinking lights. So if we go over here, here is a developer. Let's go and chat with one of our developers. What have they got to say? They're shipping Edge AI, working on that before lunch. And here is my manager at G-Core, Jure. Let's chat with him. Harry, you brought the videos, legend. The channel needs these. So it knows that I'm obviously working. From my context, it knows that I'm video creator for G-Core. So isn't this cool? We've got a meeting room. Welcome to G-Core's European head office. We can head out again, back onto the road, and jump in my car, see where we go. So as you can see, the graphics are not amazing, but it is a workable, playable game. And there we go. We got 5 stars on the respectability. How about that? We've ticked all the boxes. See how GLM 5.2 gets on as well. So one of the things I've done, by the way, is spin up a kind of little chatbot for myself. I've called it Ada after Ada Lovelace. So one of the cool things you can do, by the way, is that this is an app that I've vibe coded for myself that I set up earlier. And this basically lets me pick any model that I want and do an API call to it. So look at that. Look at the amount of models that are available now compared to when AI first came out. We just had ChatGPT and then Claude. We'll have a go at using another platform to see whether we can do the same thing and see what it does. So we will copy the prompt and we will set the model as GLM 5.2 and we will see what it does. So it's making a plan for us. This seems to be working a little bit better. And it's decided it's going to make it as a HTML5 game, so we can just open this in a browser and play it immediately, rather than trying to spin up something that we'd have to download onto Mac and worry about that. And if we start looking at the plan, it's thinking about the top-down 2D game. So immediately it goes to GTA 1, 2. Instead of those kind of the GTA 4, maybe one of those more immersive worlds that's 3D. I think that would be an overnight run to get it to do that. Let's see how well it does and how good its 2D game is compared to what Fable managed to do for us. And look, we can see here that it is running sub-agents as well, which is really, really great to see. This is exactly how Claude is operating as well. It delegates tasks down once it's come up with the high-level plan, and it's noted that we want it to be set in Luxembourg. Yeah, here we go. So look at this. Enter to start. I like this a little bit better, actually. So here we go. Funny, isn't it, how it's a similar concept. So we're not really a playable person. It looks like we're just kind of a bit of a balloon. And we've got post Luxembourg. This is Luxembourg City. Press E. Here's G-Core HQ. So E to enter it. And here I am. See if we can go and talk to someone. Redeploy to the edge in under 150 milliseconds globally. I love working near the Grund Valley. It's so green. Got some computers here. Did you visit the book Casemats yet? But do we have a data center? We've got a workspace. This is the question. Got a break room. Can't seem to do much. Yeah, so it's a bit limited in your movement in terms of what you can do. You kind of have to use the little grid in the corner, I think, to move around. Great. GPU services from 180 at pop. That's so funny. So there you have it. GTA G-Core. This is what it looks like. So I think the really impressive thing about that demo that we made with GLM 5.2 is just how close it is to what Fable made for us. I've used OpenRouter so we can actually see the spend in tokens. Obviously they are a little bit inflated, but we can actually see how much we spent on this, I think, if we go into personal activity. So here's our GLM 5.2 usage on the 10th of July, and it's barely anything in terms of what we've spent. It looks like we've barely even spent 25 cents on this, to be honest. So that is pretty amazing, isn't it? You think about how much that would cost the equivalent of usage on Fable 5. So yeah, pretty amazing stuff that we've managed to do there. So as you can see, GLM 5.2 did handle that pretty well, and of course it did it for about 1/10 of the compute cost. And I think this brings us back to cybersecurity. The ability to sign up a server on a dime, deploy an open source model like GLM 5.2, and launch sophisticated networks attacks is a terrifying prospect for the average SME. If you don't have deep technical expertise or budget, how do you defend yourself against an AI that never sleeps? But on the other hand, the open source models are pushing down the cost of the state-of-the-art AI through competition. And that is why the whole infrastructure stack is having its own kind of space race moment. Companies like us, G-Core, we're building the very infrastructure needed to mitigate these next-gen threats before they really hit your network. So it isn't really about the model at all at this stage. But it's definitely the case that the genie is out of the bottle with the next generation of AI models. And we're really just getting started. To know more about how Mythos or Fable executed that 32-stage hack, click the video on screen right now where we did a deep dive into what that means for cybersecurity. Now be sure to stay curious, stay secure, and I will see you in the next video.